Alright, so the first mod I was thinking about making on the bike is these foot pegs. They're a little narrow, a little short, and this one's bent. They're a really easy replacement. Got the safety glasses on. Why? Because I have a hammer too. Do I think I need the hammer? You'll see. Let's check it out. Alright, so it has two ends here to pull off. This is just a little clip. And we're going to take this cotter pin out. And the cotter pin holds a washer and a cotter pin. It's a small little cotter pin and a washer. And then there's a spring in here. We're going to tap this out a little bit. Should just be able to pull out now. And if we're lucky, the spring's going to stay in place. It does. And we got the foot peg off. Next thing I want to do is clean this little shaft off a little bit. You see that? A little bit of rust. Not much. There's no... And I'm going to put some of this Mobile One synthetic grease on it. Just a little spot on there. Going to keep it from rusting too much more or squeaking. Can't have that, right? Alright, now what we want to put on here, we've got these IMS Pro Series foot pegs for the Honda. And there's a look at what the Pro Series foot pegs look like. Very sharp. You're not going to be riding this with flip-flops anymore. Or no shoes. The difference, basically about double the size, and if I go to here, about another ½ an inch wider. I don't want them too wide. People put really wide foot pegs on. I don't really like the really wide foot pegs. They tend to get caught up on branches and things. Keep it as narrow as possible, but I need my whole foot to be able to fit on this thing, so just about that much wider, and my foot's going to stay on there. Pretty easy. So we're going to slip this into the spring. We're going to slide this back in. This is where the hammer's probably going to come in handy. Let's see if I can get that lined up. There we go. And then to get through the other side, I think we'll tap it. There we go, and all the way seated, which it is. A little washer is going to go back on. Cotter pin, should drop that washer. Straighten that cotter pin out a tiny bit more. Make it a little bit easier to go in. Washer on, cotter pin down. We're going to bend it back. Now if the cotter pin looks like it's in bad shape, we're going to replace it. That is it. Super easy. Foot peg install. It's all done. Way better perch for your foot. That is it. That's the IMS Pro foot peg for Honda. Alright, what's the next thing we should do? I want to take this rack off. Let's take that. Oh, and these stickers. Can we take the stickers off? I hate these stickers. You guys know it's a Honda, right? I need the stickers on here. I mean, it's not like I don't like Honda. I think you know it's a Honda, right? It's not a CR, it's a CR sticker. Take the CR sticker off. Honda wing. Do we need the Honda wing sticker? Don't think we need the Honda wing sticker out there. It's a Honda. I know it's a Honda. Anyways, I'll clean these up. We'll put those somewhere else. Let's take that rack off. Alright, number 2, gotta get rid of this rack. I'm not a big fan. These look like 10mm bolts. They are. Alright. Is that just a... Let's see if we have... side. That's that one. That one. Woohoo! Seems pretty easy. Rack. That's metal. Who wants it? Yours? Alright. Just gonna hold the exhaust on. That one holds a blinker on. This one holds the light on. Might take that off. That one. And that one. All right. Presto, changeo. I think we'll do the light next. That's something we should do. We'll go with the light next. All right, next thing we're gonna do on these rear foot pegs. When I sit on this thing, there's not enough. I mean, not enough room for a big passenger. Maybe a baby or an infant. If I move back a little bit, right where I'm gonna be sitting, it leaves about 6 inches. So chances of a passenger getting on this bike, I think, pretty slim. So we're gonna take these babies off. And for now, I'm gonna put some spacers. These would bottom out, I think. They go, yeah, I think they'd bottom out in there. So we'll put some spacers. I'm gonna get some smaller ones. These are gonna do for right now. I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on there so that I don't have to put them on super tight and they'll stay. Okay. One here. And the second one here, just aluminum spacers. Probably get some thinner ones. They just need to be about 1/8 of an inch thick. So they don't bottom out in there. I'll park those down in a second, but you get the idea. Rear foot pegs, no more. It's more of a one passenger bike. Yeah, I'll keep them around in case somebody wants them. All right, now moving on. If your bike has a look of sort of a dopey dog, and you see how those bars go down on either side. Okay, and then if we look from the top, they go in or back quite a bit. At the front, if the bars are in like this, or pulled back, what does that do? That pulls my elbows in, right? Okay, if they're down, it even makes it worse. So I'm gonna go down and pulled back. My elbows are in here. And that's not a very good position for off-road, right? Off-road, you're gonna want your elbows up, and naturally hands come out. This gives you a lot more stability. You're not gonna go over the bars as easy, and it gives you a little bit more flexibility when you're turning. You can keep a looser grip. When I have my arms in here, you should notice my legs kind of went out too, because now I've got to try to control the bike like this. I'm gonna have a death grip because now I'm trying to hold myself back and forth. I'm trying to steer, and I can't steer as well, and I've got to have a much tighter grip. Out like this, nice loose grip, elbows out, and I've got a lot of control. So we want to change that today. And so we're going to change those bars, and we are going to, another thing we need to do is we need to move them forward, because if you're sitting up forward here, pegs are down right here. If your legs are coming up with a slight bend, your bottom's going to be about here. These bars are almost underneath you at that point. So a straighter bend is going to bring them about 2 inches farther forward. We're also going to move them about 1.5 inches forward from that. So 3.5 inches. And then they'll be up another, you really don't need to be up that high. You still want to be crouched over the bike. Let me give you another example. So when I'm riding the bike, I don't want to be riding around like this, over bumps and stuff. I'm going to be jerking around. You actually want an aggressive bent over just a little bit as you're riding, so that you have more control again. Knees bent over like this, you can absorb all the bumps. If I'm like this, I'm going to be pogoing around like crazy. Anyway, so you don't want the bars too high. A lot of adventure bikes, you see guys with their bars up here and they're riding almost like a Harley guy. They stand up and they're sort of like this. And then their legs go straight. And then they're going over bumps and they're going back and forth, and you see they're kind of out of control. You need a little bit more aggressive stance than that. Those bars need to be down a little bit. Not so far that you're over the bars like this. Hit the brakes, you go over. I think you get it. Anyway, so we're going to go up about 1.5 inches. We're going to go forward about the hole where your grip is. It's going to be about 3.5 inches farther forward. And we'll go from there. I'm just going to get rid of that tail light. Hey, a lot of this is going to take some time, so what I'm going to do is we'll do a time lapse. All right, here we go. Pretty easy. You got to take the seat off really quick just to get at the wires. I noticed the wires were kind of hanging down. A couple more bolts, take the light off, and then some rubber grommets. I sprayed some WD-40 on that and pulled it right out. Then I put the wires all together, tested it, and shrink wrapped all those wires and connections. Ran some electrical tape around those to make it look tidy. And then I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple holes in the fender so that it tidies up the little wire that goes across the back, so that it doesn't fall down beneath the fender again. And then we'll put that seat on there and we're all done. The next little thing that we want to do, so we're going to put handguards on, so the plastic ends have to come off. Some people cut it short all the way across with a hacksaw, but if you have a drill bit like this, I don't know if you can see what that is. There you go. That will hone it out just the right size. Just drill it right on out and pull it farther away from the bar. I'm going to do it with the old bars on there so I don't get a bunch of stuff in the new bars, but you can do it with it, of course, completely off as well, and you just bring it right to the rim. You can actually leave a little tiny bit on there and just check the spacers to make sure that the spacers fit inside that bar, or inside the plastic, not inside the bar. Then it'll hit the bar inside the plastic. That would be the best result. If it's too wide, then go ahead and take it all the way up to the edge. Okay, now with the bars off, you can see these risers right here. And don't forget to put a little bit, don't forget to drop your thread lock on the ground. Don't forget to put a little glue thread lock on the, that's medium strength, on the threads so that they don't come loose. You want those nice and snug, and you don't want to have to keep checking them, because you got to pull the bars off to check this one. And you can take a look, make sure you have the logo faced out. Anyways, so that brings that forward about 1.5 inches and up about 1.5 inches. Okay guys, grips got to go on. And how do you put the grips on? What kind of grip glue do you use? Do you use that grip glue that's really like crazy glue? Put that on there, gets on the bike. It's very hard to get the grips off. They make one that's like Gorilla Glue. That's the yellow stuff. That stuff works pretty good. For heated grips, that stuff works the best. For motocross grips, and I'm going to safety wire these on as well, but go grab your wife's hairspray. Actually, my wife doesn't use hairspray, but get yourself some hairspray. Get the extra or extreme hold hairspray, and use that liberally. All right, really, that's all you need. Spray that in there. Get it until it drips out the other side. Spray it on the other side. You got plenty in there. Yep, there it goes. It's dripping all over the place. All right, this stuff cleans up pretty easy. You can put it on any way you want to. Get that stuff on there, and it doesn't mess with your hands that much. There we go. Good to go. Now we got our Pro Taper grips on. Okay, now that we got the bars on, let's take a look at that stance from the back. These bars are out and straight. Okay, instead of coming back, they were down and back towards us. Now they're straight out, more upright, and quite a bit farther forward. As you'll notice, the bars were back in about this position. Now they're up. Okay, much easier, much better stance for riding. That's going to be a massive improvement. Next part of the handguards, and I bought the Tusk handguards, and they are, as I was thinking, more of an inexpensive option, readily available, and I knew they would fit. But holy smokes, the quality of these are unbelievable. And these are what stick out at you when you have your bar sitting there. So you really want these edges to be round. Anyways, I'll just share with you, I was really impressed with these. Tusk handguards, talking about, they go on pretty easily. Not bad looking, good protection, and I'm impressed with it. So the bolts are all stainless steel. It's really nice. These are actually threaded bars, which make the guards go on nice and easy. Actually did add some thread lock to each one of these so that these don't come loose under vibration. Grips are nice, and I always want to check that grip, make sure it doesn't stick on anything. We also new lever, so that one's not bent anymore. So our handlebars are set, foot pegs are set, rear lights set. All right, we got a lot more to do. All right, hey, stay tuned. We will get a heck of a lot more going on. Parts are starting to come in, so our next episode is going to be pretty dramatic. Following sort of the advice of some folks that I've gotten, so the seat concept seat, that's coming in. Wheels and tires. So we'll have 2 sets of wheels, 2 sets of tires for this bike. We're gonna have a black rims with the red inners, red inner on the red hub, black rim, and those are on the way as well. So that's going to get done, and then a 5.8 gallon tank and skid plate. I actually found a guy that makes, or a company that makes a skid plate that is it's not polyurethane, it's some sort of a poly mix skid plate rather than a aluminum one that vibrates all that sound or reflects all that sound back to you. So we're going to give that one a try. I've gone with the poly type skid plates on my 500, and another race bike that we've got. This is actually the material. I think this is the same guy that makes this skid plate right here on this 500. It's really thick. Maybe it's a carbonate type of material. When I get it in, I'll be able to review that a little bit. But for this one, it works fantastic. Great protection, and none of that sound coming back at you, which is really nice. Kind of gone to those rather than the aluminum on the dirt bikes. Saves a bit of weight, and they're tough as nails, man. I've never had a problem with them. And so we're going with that on this. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff coming. I kind of went crazy on the ordering, so there's a bunch more stuff coming. Anyways, hit that subscribe button, that bell icon if you want to get a reminder for next Friday's video, and we'll see you then.